What's up, you beautiful Redditors? Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Welcome to the RNEWS Evening Show. And let's just jump into it. From r/news. Venezuela judge convicts 6 American oil execs, orders prison. You overcook chicken, jail overcook, undercook. If it helps, lots of people in the Middle East feel the same way about their fathers and mothers who were killed in oil wars to help support oil businesses, so you can at least know you aren't alone. A lot of Americans here feeling righteously indignant about this don't seem to realize our government does crap much worse than this around the world all the time. And we have been for decades. Acting like we're going to go in and kick butt is some moronic nationalist bullcrap. I have no idea how legit this trial is, so I don't have an informed opinion about this specific case. But I do know in America we protect way too many corrupt executives who should be in prison. Since people in this thread seem to be confused, Citgo is part of PDVSA, a state-run Venezuelan oil company. The oil company is owned by the Venezuelan government. The 6 people arrested are American citizens, who were working at different refineries in Texas and Louisiana, owned by the Venezuelan government. The Americans were called to a fake business meeting under false pretense, and flew to Venezuela. Once they were in Venezuela, they were arrested by the military. Edit. With additional work location information. You're watching the RNews show. From r/politics. Trump's attempt to shift burden of proof to Biden shows his election lawsuits are garbage. When you see what happened in Detroit, Atlanta, Philadelphia and Milwaukee, massive voter fraud, he's got a big unsolvable problem. The modern emperor's new clothes. Only Donnie and his minions can see it. And even if you did throw out California, Biden still wins by over 1 million votes. I would pick the 16 Republican states which equal the same population as CA but have twice the electoral college power. Cities of a certain size should get their own senator, CMV. And Biden keeps quiet and continues to chug along acting like our president. He played the turtle in the race from the beginning and he's doing it again. Slow, quiet and steady. He's driving that orange frick crazy. Narcissists always need a response. Tactic number 4 of 14 thought control tactics that narcissists use. https blogs.psycentral.com/narcissism-decoded/2017/09/14-thought-control-tactics-narcissists-use-to-co. Enfuse and dominate you. You're watching the RNews show. From r/politics. Trump set to leave office with at least $850,000 of unpaid campaign rally bills. What a classless scumbag. According to him, those who died were suckers and losers. I researched World War I as a student of history and I can tell you that they were not suckers and losers. They were patriots, regardless of what country they fought for. Allies or Central Powers. There was no objective good or evil like in WW2. It was just a massive tragedy. Men were bayoneted, shot, gassed, and blown up serving their countries. Men lost limbs, or their sight, or chunks of their face. Men willingly went over the top to meet almost certain doom because their country called on them to. I know we don't talk about the First World War much in America today, but the brave men who served and made the ultimate sacrifice have a massive cultural and patriotic impact on the collective conscience of many countries today, like France, Britain, Canada, Belgium, New Zealand, and Australia. Donald Trump calls them suckers and losers. It's hard to find a more disgusting human being. Why do you think his rallies lately have been at airports? Or dildo emporium? Don't worry, there's always some MAGA sucker willing to pick up the tab for their golden god emperor. Freaking idiot. A Trump always never pays their debts. You're watching the RNews show. From r/World News. Pope blasts those who criticize COVID restrictions in the name of personal freedom. I agree. The media does whatever they think grabs headlines. Slams, blasts, trashes, completely taking out of context what really happened. Irresponsible. Which is all the more reason why people need to read and watch several news sources from a variety of points of view and make up their own minds. The problem is it's not Catholics that are anti-mask. I'm sure there's some, but not to the large extent that the other group is. The group that is anti-mask is the evangelicals. And they hate Catholics, so they will not be listening to anything the Pope has to say anyway. Doesn't matter, the evangelicals are hateful people. As in everything is fire and brimstone. That won't listen to reason. If they have it in their communities and churches that masks are anti-freedom, they won't ever get on board. They're too close-minded. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/news. Gar. Senator Perdue boosts wealth with well-timed stock trades. Gar. Senator Perdue lines his pockets through insider trading. Asterisk fixed it for you. Vote earlier if possible. Edit. Raffensperger will try to suppress the vote, and machines will not be working up to par, particularly in Atlanta. Vote early. Turn in absentee votes to physical location. Dropbox. And make sure friends, family realize these races are just as important as the presidency. Gar sent Perdue insider trades to excessively profit off death of 250,000 Americans and 13,139,882 sick Americans who had the bad fortune of catching COVID-19. Yeah, I mean, since I had it 7 months ago, I can't walk up a flight of stairs without stopping. My lung capacity levels are permanently lowered because of COVID. But thank God I only had common cold symptoms. Otherwise would have been fine. Don't worry. He'll get a slap on the wrist for it and an empty apology while blaming his political opponents for witch hunting. You need a blind trust for these things, with a fiscal manager is the best you could hope for. Perhaps the Republicans should write in Trump's name for the Senate runoffs in January. I would feel very owned. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/news. Another 778,000 Americans filed first-time unemployment claims last week. Did they hear about the record-breaking sacred number Dow? Everything is fine. The economy demands great sacrifice. Shrek 2001. That's why nothing is being done. The gap is widening by the day between rich and poor. Those at the top are simply convinced that they are God's chosen, most deserving people, and that those at the bottom are looking for a handout when that couldn't be further from the truth. A dark cloud has been growing for decades now, and no one is prepared for the storm that's about to hit this country. Edit. Thank you strangers for my first ever awards. I will always remember your kind gesture. I applied back in August and haven't seen a single dime. Despite receiving a letter that I was qualified, I've been hit with long-haul COVID and live with an at-risk elderly person. The phone lines are perpetually disconnected and no one ever responds to emails. It is a nightmare. Same but from June. Luckily I have been able to get in contact with the state unemployment office, but they have nothing to say. So frustrating. I wish you luck and hope you get your money soon. Long-haul COVID, what is that? And that's where we're going to end today's show. But if you like what you saw, leave a like. And if you want to see more of the RNEWS show, hit that subscribe button. As always, this has been the RNEWS show and I'll see you tomorrow.